Okay, so I did my book on Little Girl Lost by Drew Barrymore. It's basically her autobiography up until she was about 15. So I just printed my PowerPoint because I'm technologically challenged. So the storyline starts with Drew Barrymore, and she was born on February 22nd of 1975. She was known as the modern-day Shirley Temple, and she was born into one of the most famous theatrical families in America, the Barrymores. She was the granddaughter of film legend John Barrymore. Her mom, Jade, was an aspiring actress, and her father, John, was basically a drug addict and alcoholic. He was really abusive. So her mom left him. So after doing various commercials from infancy, just like Gerber baby commercials, in early childhood, Drew auditioned for her first major role at age 7, which is the famous, well-known E.T. movie, directed by Steven Spielberg. She had a really good relationship with Steven. She looked up to him as kind of like a second father figure. Following the release of E.T., Drew became the target of jokes and cruelty in her school. She was bullied by students and teachers, so it was really unfortunate. This led to her taking the role of another movie called Firecracker to get away from it for a few months. Following Firecracker, she filmed Irreconcilable Differences the same year just to kind of stay out of the school system longer. Drew had a distant relationship with her mom, so she spent a majority of her time at various friends' houses. So when they would move for months at a time per movie that she did, she would make friends and she would just basically adopt them as her family because they had the family setting that Drew always wanted, which was the mom, the dad, family dinner time, just the family oriented. And she didn't get that with just her mom because her dad wasn't around and her mom was a single working mother. So as a childhood star, she was allowed into nightclubs and she was frequently exposed to drugs and alcohol. Surprisingly, her mom took her to clubs with her too, which I thought was a little goofy. At the age of 9, Drew was binge drinking alcohol and she started smoking cigarettes. She started hiding the cigarettes from her mom, but as she grew older, she just decided she didn't care. By age 10, she started using marijuana and staying out all night, partying with her friends. This is when she had her first boyfriend, crush, per se, and by age 12, she started snorting cocaine. This is when her relationship with her mom started to become very, very disrupted. She was sneaking out all night, partying at clubs all night. Her mom had no idea where she was. She was getting in physical and verbal altercations with her mom, so they would fight constantly. By age 13, she was absolutely just out of control. So one night when Drew came home, really just drunk, high, from a night of partying, Drew's mom, Jade, and her mom's friend ended up taking Drew to treatment. So right when Drew got to treatment, she got a lot of attention because she was the famous girl. She got asked for autographs by various people. So I think that kind of disrupted her treatment. By age 14, she attempted suicide by slashing her wrists, which ultimately put her back into treatment. This time she made ultimate strides to actually work the program. She spoke in family therapy, she wrote healing letters, and she just didn't hold back. At the beginning of her first time in treatment, she was really skeptical, she didn't talk, she just kind of wasn't having it. Basically now she kind of started seeing her as the little girl found rather than the little girl lost, as is the title of the book. The following year, after being released from treatment, she petitioned for emancipation and got her own apartment. So the developmental theories that I chose that fit well for this was definitely Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Drew was stuck at the love and belonging stage because she was searching for love and acceptance, mostly from her father, because he's just an absent part of her life. And I think she filled the void with relationships and boyfriends and male figures like that. You know, Steven Spielberg, he was a father figure. I think a lot of the directors the male directors were for her. I think she was also stuck searching for her self-esteem. She struggled with that a lot. She was kind of not fat, but she was heavier, and she knew that. But because she was famous, you know, people liked her. And so she was searching for self-esteem and achievement. Though she was famous, she still strived for confidence and respect, mostly from her coworkers and definitely her directors. That's who she respected the most. And then I also had emotional regulation. So Drew had a hard time regulating her emotions. She was not able to control them. When or how her emotions were expressed, mostly in regards with her mother. They would fight, and she just went off. She wouldn't hold her temper back, basically. So she couldn't control how she was feeling. Like, they were really extreme emotions. When she was mad, she was really mad. When she was sad, she was just really depressed. I also put in the parenting styles because Drew's mother presented more of a permissive parenting style. She was very warm and loving towards Drew, but was low on disciplining her. Not that she didn't try, because she did. Drew just didn't listen, and her mom just kind of would always cave in and leave anyway. So I think this is because Jade had been more of a friend to Drew earlier in life rather than a parent. I think she was trying to fill the void of her absent father as well. I also talked about Erickson's identity versus identity confusion stage. Drew was very influenced by her peers, and because she hung out with the bad role models, she followed in what they did, which was drugs, drinking, smoking. Her friends were more important to her than her school or family. Work was the most important to her, though. She established her identity, though, as an actress early on in life, probably from infancy. I think by age 7 is when she really kind of decided, hey, this is what I want to do, this is who I am. So she didn't struggle with that aspect of it, but she also struggles with self-esteem her whole childhood and definitely in her early adolescent years. So.